I believe we are live, so this is something new, something different. A lot of people will realise I'll wait for someone to join and we'll get the stream up on the computer. Now, obviously, this is something different. It is a live podcast in which I, Barbz, I'm going to answer questions that have been sent to me via Instagram, Twitter, and obviously YouTube, obviously the people watching and commenting. Just gonna sort the things out that I usually sort out. Obviously it won't take as long and I've got no reason to rush because we're not watching a game of sorts, we're just simply getting stuff up and running. So let's have a look at the camera and how it stood, because obviously I'm not going to have it next to the iPad so I can have free reign with it really. So yeah, welcome to the podcast. Headphones are in and that's going to echo. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Obviously it's going to be a live one. I feel a live podcast is more suitable for the kind of content that I'm going to post. First things first, I want to establish some sort of, not rules, but just guidelines. In a Huddersfield Town podcast, only ask Huddersfield Town related questions or Yorkshire Championship related questions, like stuff to do with the club. So don't start talking about Southampton, for example, because it has no relevance to us. Obviously, if there's transfer news regarding a club like Southampton, fire away, ask any question you want. That being said, I also want to maintain no discrimination sort of guidelines. No, I don't want any racism, any homophobia, nothing that you'd put normally in a chat. I don't want that because this is going to be majority Town fans. I can't stop opposition fans if they want to say anything like that. But I want this to be a place where Town fans can come and have their opinion heard, which is why I'm strongly backing the idea of having fan cams next season after games. So that being said, if anyone has any questions, fire them away. But I'm going to start with some that have already been sent on Instagram. So, Mr. Football, welcome to the stream. Ibrahim, how are we doing? Kai, hi to you too. Austin is here as well. Vinny, that weirdo that always joins the streams, is also here. That Ella person. Caitlin, welcome back, mate. Has there been any transfer talks? Not to my knowledge, but there has obviously been the signing confirmation of Yaya Sanogo earlier today, I believe. Or it might have been yesterday, I can't remember. Hi, excited about the podcast? Yeah, I'm excited to start it. So, first things first, I'm going to look on Instagram and I'm going to answer any questions that have been, sent in. So, let's just crack on. Right, so the first question that has been sent to us is by Alfie4401, and he has put, where do you see us in 5 years? Which is a very good question. Now, where do I see us in 5 years? In fact, I'm going to put some tags on the video so it's easier to find. That's always something that I should do. But he has said, where do I see us in 5 years' time? Now, where I would like to see us is in the Prem, back in the Prem. Obviously, where I would like to see us and where we will be are two very different things. Now, I'm strongly behind the idea that we are where we are because the board has not backed Carlos. So, that being said, unless we invest, I don't think we'll get back there. I had strong hopes for it. Obviously, what happened with Seaver wasn't promising. We never saw the Cowleys sort of play the attractive football that they could have played because we were just trying to stay up. So, that's always gonna be a factor in it, and we're gonna have to deal with that. So Where do I see us in 5 years? So I'm going to be optimistic because I used to be negative all the time on the channel, and it just didn't get good. I'm going to say that we will be back in the Prem. I'm going to say we'll be in a relegation battle, and hopefully we'll have a much better squad. So yeah, that's answering that question. I'll try and answer every question to the best of my abilities, of course. But yeah. So if anyone else has got a question in the comments, fire me away. I'll rotate from Instagram over to the chat, and if there isn't one, I'll just look at this. So Alfie had another couple of questions actually, and he said, Carlos in or out? Now, like I say, I'm very much, backing Carlos at the moment. We've seen the football he can play when it's going good, so we have to put up with the bad stuff. You can't just be happy when it's going good and then, start moaning when it gets bad. It's not right for you to think like that as a football fan. So based off that, I'm Carlos in, and I believe, yes, he's got no plan B, but what do we expect? Because, we've not backed him financially. He's not got control over the transfers. Bromby and the rest of the recruitment team have, and they don't know how to recruit players. I'm sorry. I have the utmost respect for people in power at this club, but the people who are currently in power are not doing a good enough job, and that's as simple as it is. Yeah, Carlos in. Next question. How do you think Sonogo will do? Great question, Cameron. Welcome to the stream, by the way. How do I think Sonogo will do? Well, he's got the build of exactly what we need at the moment. We've got too many small strikers in a system where we're putting crosses into the box, and we expect people to get on the end. They're just not going to be the tall, rough, physical English, well, not even just English, but any centre-half that they're going to face. Obviously, majority of the centre-halves in this league are probably English, with it being a lower English league, obviously, but I do think that the physicality of this league is unmatched sometimes, and we need a player like Sonogo to be able to battle in that. Campbell does battle, but he's not over 6 foot. I believe he's 5'9" or something, or maybe 5'10", or maybe even smaller. I'm not sure, but all I know is Sonogo is a very big striker, and he will solve our aerial threat problem, hopefully. So I think he will do pretty good once he gets, gets to grips of it, gets in the groove. Once he does, I reckon he'll be pretty good. So next question, Alfie again is carrying the stream. Preston versus Town prediction. Just looking at it objectively, I'm gonna go with a 0-0. To me, it does scream 0-0 that game. Just based off what lineup we'll go with and how Preston are playing at the moment. If any game was to be a 0-0 this season, I'd go with that one. So yeah. Do you think he'll be like Mounier? Cameron's put another good question. I think he will. Similar sort of build, similar sort of play style, I believe. I'd probably say Mounier is the better finisher, but we've not seen, anything from Sonogo yet, so we can't really judge that. But I do think he'll be promising once he, like I say, gets in the groove. I reckon he will be like Mounier, and he'll attack aerial balls and battle with the central defenders. So yeah, I do think he will be like Mounier. Where do you think we will go for next season? I think next season we will finish a interesting. I'm going to go with 10th. I think we'll invest a bit in the summer, but not nearly enough to go back up. So I think we'll get 10th. If we're lucky, though, we'll have to be quite lucky with injuries to finish 10th. Yeah, 10th. What do you think of the Who to Be a Terrier podcast? I've not really watched too many of it. I've watched a couple, and from what I've seen, they know what they're talking about. They seem like a good bunch of lads, but I've not watched loads. I've only watched a couple of clips here and there that have been linked through Twitter. So yeah, credit to them. Keep doing what they're doing. Why not? Now, Dan SMXTHH, or Dan Smith, I believe, has asked us, how do you see the future of Town? At the moment, grim, not great. We're we haven't got consistency. We've not got a lot of passion. We've not got a lot of anything going for us. The only thing we have got going for us is injuries and poor recruitment. But I do see, I mean, surely, apart from relegation, it really can't get worse than this. Relegation administration, it can't get worse. So I think the future has got to be bright, and we're going to think positively on that one. How many goals do you think Sanogo will score this season? This season, I think he'll get 2 or 3. There's not many games left, and he's going to struggle to get to match fitness straight away, so 2 or 3. Is Carlos the man we need? I believe so, yes. I've already answered that in sort of a way. Would you like Niasse? He was rubbish for us, could not even score an open goal. I mean, anything's better than what we've got at the minute. We've got one striker who's, you know, sort of half proven at this level in Fraser Campbell. Apart from that, we really haven't got any forward threats, apart from wingers that are injured. But yeah, I'd take Oumar Niasse. I'd bite the hand off for him. Fill out Dan Smith's put. Big question this. I think, I'll just take a drink. I think to put the blame solely on Phil would be immature and just disrespectful from me and the fan base. But I have questioned some of his decisions. I don't think he's invested nearly enough as he should have, but he can't take the sole blame for the lack of quality players we've got when, you know, he's not the head of recruitment, Bromby is. And I mean, like I say, I've got respect for these people, but there's nothing worse than hearing Bromby kick off saying we've only had 1 shot on target at Luton when it's literally his job to bring the players in so that we don't do that. That's just, it's just careless for me. Not what you want to see when you're, you know, pumping hundreds of money into the club, like us fans are doing. But yeah, that's where I stand on that question. Will promotion in the next 2 seasons be feasible? With investment, lack of injuries, and, you know, backing into Carlos's idea, why not? Anyone can beat anyone in this league, so obviously anyone can get promoted. Best away day. Last season, the best away day I went on was Derby. That was a really good away day. But best away day overall that I've ever been to, I'd probably say was Everton. The home fans were very quiet, but we made it a very good day. Yeah. What about Danny Ward? Cardiff City fan says. Honestly, the guy's absolutely useless. I don't think I've seen a player come to town and be that incapable of staying fit and actually contributing to the squad in a long time. And it pains me to say that because I love Danny Ward, you know, a player that's come back after playing for the club previously, but he's really not contributed at all, and he's just taking a wage. I hate to say it, but that's just the truth, really. Proud Terriers. So, Ryan, the founder of Proud Terriers. In the summer transfer window, where do you think we need to strengthen most? Great question from Ryan. Where do we need to strengthen most? I think straight away we need to get that striker. Sanogo could be good, but we need another one. We need a proper proven one. And I mean like a, like a Scott Hogan or someone like that. Proven championship goal scorer. You know, a Hogan, a Stephen Fletcher, not these players in particular, but I'm just saying players like this that have been proven in the championship level. I mean, Jermaine Defoe, the guy's out of contract. I'd love to take him. Yeah, wage would be not great, but he's a goal scorer. He's a finisher. He finds the back of the net, and that's what we need at the minute. So, yeah. Who's the must sign during the next transfer window? Oh, wait, I need to answer that question a bit better. My apologies. Right. Where do we need to strengthen? Central defence. I mean, Creechlow's good. I think Creechlow would be the better defender to play at this minute in time instead of Keown Sarr. But obviously 1 doesn't go into 2. Well, it does, but 1 isn't 2. So we do need another central defender, and with Schindler looking like he's going to be injured for the rest of the season, and you know he might, if we do sign a new contract with him, and he does, you know, play another year, he'll struggle to get back to fitness. Is what I'm trying to say. So we need, again, a proven Championship centre half. I don't want to see none of this punting it out on players like Keogh. Don't get me wrong, Keogh's experienced and he will help us, but so far he's not been ideal. We need to buy proven players. I've said this for years. I've said it in the Prem. I've said it since we came down. There's no point gambling your season, especially when when the club is how it is at the minute. Spend the money, get the quality, see the results. And then if we don't see results, we can't moan because we've asked for it. If the fans asked for us to sign Harry Kane and then Harry Kane didn't score, we can't complain because we've asked for it. So, that's how it is, simply. Put that on there, actually. Easier to get. Let's have a look. Stan Smith put, who's a must sign? So I suppose we can say a particular player for this question, but central, in answer to Ryan's question about where we should sign most, central defence, striker, and I reckon a playmaker, to be fair, because we haven't got one of them. So yeah. Who's a must sign during the next transfer window? We'll say player. I think Jeffcott would be a good one. I think Luke Jeffcott of Plymouth, we should bite Plymouth's hand off and go and get him because he is absolutely ripping the League One up at the minute. Off the bench, starting, he's scoring goals, and that's what we need. When I say proven players, I don't mind it if we're signing punts that have actually backed their numbers. What I don't understand is when we're signing players from non-league that have scored 1 goal in 5 years. That's what I don't understand. But players like Ivan Toney that have come to this league and ripped it apart, quite literally, they're having similar seasons like Jeffcott is doing. So, we need to capitalise a couple of million. It really wouldn't cost that much. But the better he plays and the better he continues to play, the more he's going to cost, and we don't realise this. So Terry Hill's got another question, but we're going to have a look up in the chat now and see any from here. Right. Jack Mellington put top 3 players this season. Good question. Josh Karoma, Karel Eiting, and Isaac Mbenza for me. Those 3 have been magnificent on the day. Absolutely unplayable. Eiting's been a massive addition to the squad. And Benza has turned over a new leaf. Last season before, he was putting balls into screen 9 in Odeon. Now it just goes in the net and stays in the net. And I'm so happy for the lad because he's had some stick. 10 million price tag. It wasn't ideal at the time, but now he's starting to, sort of pay off for that, sort of sum, and prove that he's worth the money. We'll look at another question on here as well. Would you prefer the board to back the Cowleys knowing their success or back Carlos? I think Carlos would probably work better with investment, but Cowleys could work. Well, I say that, but the squad's probably got worse on paper than what it was last season. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see the Cowleys and try and model us into a Burnley. People slag Burnley off. Burnley get results. I don't care about the football as long as we're doing results. There's a fine line between, I'd love us to play this fancy passing, quick movement football, but if we don't get results with it, and this is what's happening now, I'd change it in a heartbeat to play the way that Burnley do in order to get results. And that's just a simple sort of, fact, really. That's what I want. Player who will go at the end of the season. As much as it pains me to say, I think Bakuna will probably end up going. I think Bakuna will go. I really don't want him to. I think he's our most underrated player by far. But, I think he'll be going. Let's have another look in the chat. Bromby out. Good question. If it continues to not recruit proven players, in conjunction with sort of Phil, pair of them, need to go. I don't like criticising people, obviously, but if they're not doing the job to what the fan base believes is acceptable, then I don't think they should be in that job. A lot of people have questioned whether Bromby's qualified to do his job. Obviously, with him being head of operation, he went from head of academy to head of operations, or head of academy to head of recruitment, something like that. A lot of people don't think he's qualified. I'm not sure yet. I think he does need longer, but if anyone associated with the club who hasn't a say on transfers, he's set on just signing players that are just not going to perform for us, then they need to leave. So it's not just Bromby, it's sort of everyone. Hi Brad, how are we doing, Ryan? You need a better keeper, you bought Russell sold him straight away, then got him back. What's the point in that? Well, because he didn't want to play Championship football, then he realised he wasn't going to get game time at Everton, so he wanted to come back and have some game time. So, it kept us up. That's probably the main sort of reason for that, mate. Should go to other leagues that are not that common because there'll be less competition, certainly, but I want proven players. I don't want players that we're going to be gambling the season on. There's no point. That's my opinion. You may disagree. You're entitled to that. And how are we doing, Adam? Do you think we'll sign Alex Smithers in the summer? No, I don't think we will. Where do you want us to think you'll finish? 16th. Bakuna's been shocking recently, though. See, no, I disagree. O'Brien's been worse, but because O'Brien had such a good season last season, it seems that he's just immune from criticism. That game where he was captain against Derby, his performance was nothing short of disgraceful. That performance is not the performance that a captain should be having. Vallejo should be captain because he played that game very well and we still lost. Stankovic will be mint for us this season. Yeah, him and Creechlow will be a good partnership. Him and Ebbers Gray will be a good partnership. But we didn't keep him. We thought we'd get rid of him. It was pointless. It was stupid. Probably the worst player that we ever let go. That we didn't expect to go. Hoyle ruined us. I think it's harsh that everyone's having a go at Phil has been out in a difficult situation. What are your thoughts on this, Brad? Now, I haven't read too much into all the sort of details. I know that Hoyle, wants to be paid back. Personally, I think he should sort of take it over more years, but the pair of them have been bad about it. What we should have done, I don't know if it's true, but I heard rumours that OPE wanted to buy into us and he refused because he wanted to go for a town fan. If that's true, then good going, Dan, good going. Time out the Leeds fans. If that's true, then that's just Dean ruining his legacy for me. And I love Dean Hoyle. I love everything he's done for the club. But if he has got Phil because he thinks that he would have been better than foreign investors that had much more money, then that's just wrong in my eyes. I don't care what morals you share in that. You want someone who will think about the club. Money talks in this day and age, not loyalty or anything. You want loyalty within people in your club, but money does all the talking nowadays. So yeah, that's where I stand. When I say that, I love loyalty. I love the loyalty that Hogg's shown to us, that Shinler's shown to us. But unfortunately, as much as it's admirable, it's not needed in the game now. Football is a business as much as it is a sport, and if we're spending money, we'll get results. I'm sure of that. But good question and good statement. Prediction: Preston, Huddersfield. I always said this 0-0. Do you in any way feel sorry for Alex Pritchard seeing he's out injured all the time? Yes, I do. But the only thing I'm criticising Pritchard for is the fact he's always on the floor. He goes down far too easily for me, and he contributes to nothing really. That's why I don't think he's a good player. Nothing personal against the guy. I'm sure he's a good laugh. Sure he's a nice bloke, but performances don't exactly help him. In my opinion, Vallejo is the most underrated town player. I'd probably agree, to be fair. Yeah, him or Bacuna for me. Right, let's go back down to here. Is Yaya a good signing? Yes, I believe so. Here we are. Carell Aitin, keep or sell? Well, we don't own him at the moment, so I think it would be sort of, if we bought him, obviously I'd love to keep him. I don't really see selling him on, but in the context that we don't buy him, I would love to sign him permanently. I think that would be the better sort of scenario if we sign him out rather than just letting him go back. Do you think Christopher Schindler should sign a new contract? I'd love him to. He's a legend. I don't want to see him go, especially not after it being with an injury. It'd just ruin a send-off for him, and I don't want that. He's a legend. We all love Christopher Schindler. Right. One sec, I'm going to quickly nip to the toilet. If anyone's got any questions, put them through, and I'll answer them when I get back in like a minute. Oh. Right. Founding member of the... What's she put now? Don't keep timing her out. Don't keep timing her out. She'll only cry, and then I'll have to sort it out, won't I? Right, so we should be good to carry on. Right, so we're going to look at the tablet real quick. Dan Mish 1 has got a good question. Will Sonogo flop? I don't believe so. I think it'd be a good signing, but we sort of need to... we need to use him to our advantages. Kept putting foul language. Alright, that's fair enough then. Yeah, we just need to play to his strengths, and he should be a good player for us. And in response to Duff, what he's just said there above. Hey Brad, hope you're doing well, mate. I had no idea we're doing this. Yeah, I'll put a notice on the community if I'm gonna, post it as well, so people know next time. So, favourite player, Austin's put Austin_A.1 on Instagram. He's put favourite player at the moment. I am loving the way that he was playing in Josh Koroma. Probably say he was my favourite player this season. Favourite manager, I'm going to say, guess it's saying town manager. You've got to say Wagner, haven't you? Favourite video to make, obviously the matchday vlogs, but while we're how we are, I love doing the streams. I love doing the matchday streams. It's different, but it's fun. I really do like doing them. But yeah, that is town related, so we can say that. It's not town related. Thoughts on the mini Messi Alex Pritchard. If he's Messi, I look like Harry Styles. Any players we'd be better off without? I mean, O'Brien can't be starting many more games for me. He's been poor. I think Sarr as well, giving the ball away a lot. So is Keogh. Then again, loads of players are doing But it's more not the players that we need to get rid of. It's more the players that we need to buy. That's the thing. But yeah, O'Brien needs to get benched for me. He's not playing good enough. Same applies for Keown Sarr maybe. Thoughts on Carlos long term? Back him. Buy into his idea. Will get results in my opinion. If you could buy a re-signable player who we could sign, who would it be? I mean, let's say past, in the prime, I would have said Aaron Moy, 100%. But obviously now we're going to look at it as if, you know, Aaron isn't in his prime, which he isn't. Who could I... Right, so we have to think someone that's gone. Someone that's gone that's still pretty good. Grant's been awful this season, to be fair, so I won't say him. That's a good question, that, actually. Going to have to give me some time to think about that. Do you know what? I'd probably say Mounier, Ben Chilwell is a good suggestion from Austin. Mounier, Ben Chilwell, Stankovic, or who's the other one I was just thinking of? Who was it? Oh my god, this is going to annoy me. Or Smith Rowe. That wasn't the one I was thinking of, but very good suggestion from Wayne. Philip Billing, no, I'd rather play Monopoly for 24 hours straight. But yeah, if I had to pick one out of all of them, in the prime, Moy, right now, I'd probably say Mounier because we need goals. So yeah, good question though. And again, Chilwell. No, Mounier. No, Chilwell, just because he's in prem. But second, very close second, Mounier. Thoughts on our new signing striker? Yeah, it looks promising. Better than anything we've got, so, you know, nothing to lose, right? Is there a life for Preston? It's looking unlikely. But I suppose it depends on what I'm doing on Saturday. But as it stands, I don't think so. I strongly disagree with paying £10 to watch us get absolutely plastered. O'Brien has been poor this season. Let's keep looking. I think we could have a really good season next season. Granted, we stay up, hopefully our players be more used to the training. If we don't get injuries and we invest, no reason why not, Thomas. No reason why not. But let's move on. Who would your main two centre-backs be? At the moment, I'd probably go with Romani Edmonds-Green and Ramona Creechlow. I think JK will get how many goals next season? 15. Moy or Grant to come back for right now? Calvin Grant. Although Moy is the better overall player, I think playing the quality of football in China will have obviously not made his ability get worse, but he'll be very, you know, rusty with English football, and I think Grant's, you know, he's only just left. If we could get him back, I'd take Grant. Emil Smith Rowe or Moy. So right now, I'm going to go with Smith Rowe, but in the prime, Moy, not even close. But obviously, Smith Rowe's not hit his prime yet. If you had to sell one player from our first 11, who would it be? And they would have to go O'Brien. Because we could get a lot of money for him. We could get 8 million for him. We could reinvest that. After O'Brien, I'd probably say Schofield. No, not Schofield. That's stupid. Not Schofield. No, I'd just say O'Brien, to be fair. Fair play to Alf, he's putting a lot of questions in. Think we'll be going for playoffs next season? It's possible, but not probable. Best manager in the world and why? I'm only answering Huddersfield Town questions for today, mate. But if there are questions of football in general, I will do that podcast if there is demand for it. Who would you pick from only Championship to join our team? Would you break the bank for? Great question. So if I can have any player in the Championship, I'd pick either Buendia from Norwich, Todd Cantwell from Norwich, or well, he's not at the club at the minute, but he's owned by the club. I'd pick De La Feu from Watford. I think he's absolutely dynamite. What do you think of our new striker signing? I think he could be pretty good. Play to his strengths. He'll deliver. Ismail Sarr, he's a little bit overrated in my opinion. Very inconsistent. All he's done is score against Liverpool twice, and that's it really. Is there any other questions on here? No question. What formation would you like Town to play? Tony. Oh yeah, Tony's certainly up there, but I'd just rather have De La Feu because I think he's better. Formation would you like Town to play? I'm happy with us playing 4-3-3 or 3-5-2 if we play the right football with it and perform. But it's rare that we do, that's the only problem. If I had to pick a system to play though, I wouldn't mind playing 4-2-3-1 because we have played that good in the past. Under Cowley and under Wagner. Different styles but same formation. Hamer was still here, would you put him in net or Ryan? I'd put Hamer in net to be fair. Ryan needs a rest, he's making mistakes and I don't want his confidence to get bad. Do you think we should sign Carl Darlow from Newcastle or Will Grigg? That's a bit of a contrast. One's a keeper, one's a striker. I don't think Will Grigg's good enough for this league. Not anymore. Won't be setting anything on fire, that's for sure. But Carl Darlow, great keeper, but he's starting for Newcastle, so there's no chance that he would come to us. I'd try Sarr up front for a game of two thoughts. I mean, it is a silly suggestion, but when you think about it, what would we really have to lose at the minute? It's a sad reality. I think Campbell's kind of lost it now. He's definitely not the finisher that he was, and he's in the best of his career. Thoughts on Toffolo, mate? Brilliant workhorse. Always running up and down the left flank. Captain material. When he's starting, and Hogg isn't or Vallejo isn't, I believe he should be captain. Obviously, if Schindler's out as well. But yeah, massively improved this season as well. And say had such a good season last season. That's massive. Something we've got to be grateful to the Cowleys for, always. Certainly. Do you think Phil is or just have been holding back to someone to start spending some money? It's possible. I don't know Phil's bank balance. Hopefully he's minted and he just buys his Mbappe like next year. But no, seriously, I hope he does invest because I want him to succeed. I won't ever dislike someone within the club that much that I want the club to suffer just so they get like let go of or so they have to leave. I'm not like that. In your opinion, what's the worst player you bought in the past 4 seasons? Oh God, I mean, I'd say Tom Ince is up there, but he did score a goal that was crucial to us staying up, so I can't say Tom Ince. I'd say Scott Malone was certainly up there because he was awful. Flo was awful, but he was good in his own way at a time. Elphick was absolutely awful. Diakabi was diabolical. There's too many to choose from. I mean, I'd have to do a top 5. I'd do Diakabi's the worst because he's not contributed one bit. He's won a penalty at Blackburn, and that is literally it. So Diakabi's the worst, followed by Scott Malone. No, I can't be rude to Scott Malone like that. And then I'd say Elphick. Then I'd say Elphick. Diakabi worst. Elphick second worst. Richard, no. Then Malone third worst. Then Pritchard fourth worst. Then I'm gonna say Ivan Porovic or someone like that stayed for like a couple of months. Lowe was not the worst by far. Lowe was criminally underrated. That guy was so good for us. Penalty taker as well. Evening. How are we doing, Piers? Great to see you back in the stream, mate. Are you doing stream from vs Birmingham? Of course I am, mate. As long as the game's free and you know the game is available, I'll be streaming as per usual. Malone nearly saw his name in the lights at my city. So did Departure as well, to be fair. It'd been nice if either of them would have scored. We wouldn't have had to draw at Chelsea, but obviously we like to do things the hard way. I wouldn't change it for the world, though. Yeah, Jason Davidson was awful, though. Parrich played once, yeah. Grabara. See, Grabara was a bad... He was a good keeper, but he was a bad footballer. That's what I always found with Grabara. It's like, he's diving, brilliant. His reflexes, brilliant, even better. But his handling was so poor. His positioning was so poor. His distribution was poor. And he was not fast at all. I'm rating it off FIFA stats, literally. But, you know what I mean? I'd have Departure back myself. Of course I would. Where the squad's at the moment, I'd take Mickey Mouse up front. What was your opinion of Eric Durham? Surely he'll be up there in our worst signings. He was too injury prone. I mean, I disagree. When he come on, he had energy. You know, he tried to get us going forward. He was like that wing back, but you know his reason for leaving were a bit stupid. I swear he left something because we didn't have German bread in one at bakeries or something, which I don't know, it seems a bit far fetched for me. But you know, if we'd have stayed up, I reckon he could have been integral to our next season. But ultimately, that Prem season, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. So, you know, referee decisions, not investing in the right players. But we got linked in the Prem with Adama Traore, who's one of the fastest and most tanked players in the Prem now. Alphonso Davies, which is the best left-back in the world. Maddison, which is arguably one of the best playmakers England will see. Morpé, in my opinion, great striker for Brighton. Andre Silva, who's in absolutely brilliant form over at Frankfurt at the moment. Has Benza got new legs this season? I'd say so, yeah. Do you think Reece Brown will stay in the summer or leave? I think he'll go to Peterborough on a permanent, or we might sell him to someone else. But if he's going to Peterborough, we'll get a bit of cash for him because we're going to play Peterborough in the season. So, you know, there's that. Sonogo's interview's just been out, so I'll have a watch of that after the stream. Just reading that tweet. Let's see if anyone else has put any more things on Instagram. Do you think Sports new striker won't start for a while? He's not playing in ages. I don't think so. Phil is a Town fan, but he said he didn't buy players because of COVID. Yeah, that is obviously something we've got to sort of understand. Worst player in our this season, it's been O'Brien. Well, no, I lie. It's been Keogh so far, but at times it has been O'Brien. Was Elphick even that bad? Do you think you start him? Because I haven't seen a lot of him. He was awful when he played, in my opinion. Wells or Koroma in prime? Oh, Naki Wells, yeah. Koroma's only just started performing. Wells had a couple of good seasons with us. Best talent match in the last 2 seasons in Championship. I say the best one. I mean, Swansea the other week was up there, but I've got to say Charlton when we won 4-0. Charlton when we won 4-0. Or probably Millwall away this season, even though we didn't get to. Well, the majority of us won't have watched it. Yeah, Charlton last season. Brilliant. 4-0. If you could change the look of the Johnson Stadium, would you change it or keep it? Great questions here, Alfie. I like it how it looks, to be fair. I am a fan of, older grounds, but, there's an exception with our ground. I really do like the way it looks. I think it's one of the best looking grounds in the country. Maybe a little biased, but who cares? Who cares? Who was worse ages ago, and Benza or Diakabi in the Prem? I have to say Diakabi for the simple reason that Benza scored against De Gea, Man United. So, that's that. Let's look at the chat now. I think training's part of all that injury problems. What do you think? Yes. Sorry, I'm skim reading. Yeah, no, I agree. Murder ball, as they call it, it's not ideal, but if it requires us to do that, if he requires us to do that in order to perform, then we've got to do it. If you wasn't a Town fan, what would be your second team? This is a brilliant question, actually, and I have thought about this many times, not because I want to stop supporting Town, although I've questioned myself sometimes, but just always because I do like dilemmas, like, moral ones, sport ones. I do like looking at them. I think I'd support someone that someone in my family supports. I think that would be the only alternative. Now, majority of my family, immediate family, are Town fans, so that obviously don't work. Stepdad's a Wednesday fan, and I'm going nowhere near them because we're rivals. But I guess my best mate supports Burnley. Other best mate supports Arsenal, and my sort of uncle-in-law supports West Ham. I'd probably. It's very difficult who I'd pick, because I wouldn't pick it for any reason in particular. It's just who has the least relevance to Town in sort of meaning. Because I couldn't pick someone that we were rivals with, otherwise that'd be stupid. But if we went into administration, I wouldn't support anyone else. But assuming that Huddersfield Town have never existed and I'm following football for the first time, I would have to pick. Oh God, this is difficult. Oh God, this is very difficult. I'd have to pick West Ham, I think. Just based on the fact that there's someone in my family and they have no relevance to Huddersfield. And I've always had a soft spot for West Ham for that reason. So yeah. You could not support Huddersfield, who would you support? Well, obviously, if they exist, no one. But I'm stressing that's if they don't exist. By the way, this is like Huddersfield Town have never been thought about. Like Leeds Road isn't even a thing. Huddersfield isn't even a thing in this. I was born in Edinburgh. I was made in the Royal Navy. I've not been born anywhere near to do with Huddersfield in this context. Do you think we can get back to Premiership? Phil wants a wage bill at 12 million. It's like 19 mil now. It's gonna have to get higher, if anything, for us to get back there. But yeah, we can get back there, but it's going to be difficult. What did you think about Moyle whilst he was at Town? That first Championship season, he dominated that league. He was the best player in that league by far, and that's not even being biased. That guy was different gravy. He's the best player I've ever seen wear the blue and white stripes. Ibrahim, I'm going to get to yours about Zanka just in a minute. But yeah, he was brilliant. In that second season in the Premier, even though we played, majority of the season we weren't great, obviously being tipped to go straight back down as bottom. Some of the stuff that Moy did that season was world class. Some of the moves, some of the goals, some of the just ways he played was world class. And I felt bad for him when he went to Brighton because I felt he could do better than Brighton. No disrespect to Sussex club, by the way, but I felt he could have a West Ham, a a Wolves, a Southampton, a bit higher up in the table. Like, worst manager, Huddersfield past 20 years, excluding Jan Sievert. I don't know. I'd have to say Jan Sievert because I've not supported us for that long. 2009, I'd say. So, don't think we've had many bad managers in that time. Yeah. What's on Zanka? I just said Wednesday. No, it's Thursday, mate. I'm going to go back to the iPad. We are running out of questions, so I think I'll wrap this up in a bit. Would you rather coach Town or play for him? That's a brilliant question, that. I'd rather play for him, to be fair. I have been dubbed, the best deep line playmaking wing, fullback, central defensive target man that gets in behind in the Huddersfield region. So I think, Carlos, you need me, you know where I am. Would you take Zanka back? Yeah. What do you think about Preston? That derby game was a shame. Yeah, it wasn't great. It was horrible. 0-0, I think, and I think we'll just defend for his lives. Best centre back partnership at Town. Oh, it's either. Do you know what? This is gonna be very controversial, but I'm gonna say Christopher Schindler and Terence Congolo. Zanka was good, but Congolo was just different gravy. That guy was unreal. And how it ended with us and Congolo was sad, but God, he was so good in that first Premier League. Even in the second, they were so good, them two together. Would you take Zanka back? Yeah, in a heartbeat, Austin. When's the Huddersfield Creamer Mode coming? So, I've said this a couple of times, but obviously, people will forget. The first episode has been made, but I'm just in the process of editing it. It takes time, and I'm a busy person, obviously, with streams that I've got to do and my own personal things. It's hard to sort of keep everything in the loop, but it'll be coming soon. It's not more about when, it's the fact that it is coming. But, it's just got to wait for it. It'll be worth it. Pro manager. Would being a pro manager ever interest you for Town or in general? Of course it would, but you've got to play the game. You've got to play the game to be a manager generally. Huddersfield go as an administration club folds or go blind in one eye? Go blind in one eye, because you never said for how long. Just pepper spray for a bit. We go to Prem but lose every game. Or stay in Championship and do good. Well, as long as we stay in the Prem every game. Where do you see us in 10 years? Premier League. Do you see Carlos staying for another few years? I'm not sure. Can't comment on that. I can comment, but I don't know. Would you rather support Leeds or Wednesday if Town didn't exist? As much as I, dislike Wednesday for the fact that, it's a Yorkshire rival and my stepdad supports them, every single day of the week I would support Wednesday over Leeds. I would rather support my legs because they support me than support Leeds. Would you take Hefele back? Oh, in a heartbeat. Brilliant defender. Thoughts on Siberia when he was at Town. Really promising guy, which never lived up to it with a couple of injuries and not getting played really. I wish him the best though. He was a good little player. Most liked Town kit of all time. I think I've got it in the wardrobe. One sec. Where's it gone? No, it's been moved, but it is the 17-18 home kit, and I got it signed by quite a lot of players at Accrington Stanley, where we, conveniently lost 3-0 in a pre-season friendly. So there's that. Right, a suggestion for career mode, make the vids like 30-35 minute long. Yeah, they're going to be long enough, don't worry. What's the tablet doing over there? Any more questions? on here. Let's have a look at this. Would you rather lose your arm or wear a Leeds shirt in the John's Stadium? I'll tell you something. Alfie's pulling it out of the bag tonight. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to say that there's a third option in this and that I have no association to football ever. That's all I'm going to say. Because I kind of like having both these arms. But I'm not wearing a Leeds shirt. Not ever. Not specifically in the ground. So yeah, we'll just not be associated with football, and I'll just support rugby instead. Every time badge of all time. This one, but with the stars on and in the other shape. Yeah. Hang on a minute. Hang on. No. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. This one. That one. Reggie Vallapara was the most hated player, but personally I think he was the best midfielder we've had. He certainly wasn't the best. Moyne was the best, but he was criminally underrated in my opinion. I thought that level of trickery he always had, it was always brilliant. Very rarely failed for him. The only time he ever did too much was when he tried to go on runs, but actual skills, they worked, they paid off. I think he grafted. He certainly tracked back to win the ball. He was a good player. Very underrated, like I say. Both work rate, passion, and everything to do with the club. And I'd love to have him back one day, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he fell out with Phil. So while Phil's still at the club, I don't see it happening. But like I say, brilliant player. Very misunderstood. What position will we finish? I said this already, didn't I? I said 16th, didn't I? Excuse me. Who's better at skills, Van La Parra or Scannell? Oh, Van La Parra, very easily. Would your dream job to be a football commentator on TV? I mean, it's a great job to have, but I'd say my dream job would probably be doing YouTube full time, or being a football player. But I mean, I'd love to have a job being a commentator on TV or speaking about football for my job. That'd be brilliant. Opinions on Lolly. Good for us, very good for Forest. Had a bad season though, but the last couple of seasons he has been brilliant. 1 million followers or Prem champions, which one? Premier League champions, because I might not see that again in my lifetime, but the 1 million followers can come and go. Best town chant or your favourite? The best one I've ever heard was probably Smile a While. But my favourite, the best one could be Want to Destroy Bradford and Leeds. But my favourite was probably the Departure chant. I love that chant. That was one of my favourite, and it always will be. Do you think Hoyle should have sold to Phil or found someone with more money? Certainly think more money, but whilst Phil's here, and as long as he's making, relatively, professionally informed decisions, I'll back him. And that's where I'll stand on that. Just a quick reminder, as we're going to get close to wrapping this up soon, if you haven't already liked, please do. And if you want to see more of this content, then tell me in the comments, DM me on Instagram, which is Brad Barbz, or my Twitter, which is @BradBarbz, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're getting even more closer to 2.9k and then 3k. So to start the year off with 1 million views and 3k would be absolutely mental. Loudest fans to ever come to the John Smiths. Well, I'll do a top 5 for you. One, I think, is Newcastle. Brilliant fan base. I really do, like seeing Newcastle do good. They're a massive club. Great following. Leeds has to be up there. No, really not. Not in recent years, anyway. Wednesday. Yeah, I'd probably say Wednesday in that. So, Newcastle. West Ham away fans are brilliant. Palace. Wednesday. Middlesbrough. That's what I'm going to say. So, Toon. They sell out all the time. Toon, West Ham, and that's a close second, by the way. West Ham were brilliant both times. What were the order I said again? I said Toon, West Ham, Palace, Wednesday, Borough. I mean, they've all 5 of them have sold out practically and brought the noise without having to go ahead like teams like Leeds. Look, I don't like them, but I'm going to be honest here. They weren't very loud until they scored. Same applies for Birmingham, but yeah, they didn't like that and they started hunting for me on Twitter. All the 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds. Yeah, they all wanted a piece of Barbz. So, I suppose I must be an attractive guy or something. But anyways, no, Liverpool very much part of that, singing when they're winning. Good fan base, but a lot of tourists nowadays, and that's not me trying to be offensive in any way, but it just kill the atmosphere. Same applies for Man United, and I wouldn't say Man City are more a tourist team actually. I'd say United are a tourist team just because they're the bigger club, obviously. Have a look and see if there's been any more questions. Who's your favourite player when we went to the Prem? Aaron Moy. Absolute baller. Cool as a cucumber on the ball. Pippa Skills or Van Lapara. Van Lapara, what's the job you want to be when you're older? Hopefully I can do YouTube on the side with something to do with football or media. What's harder, to be a pro footballer or a coach in Championship? Pro footballer, probably. No, to coach, I'd say, actually. Because you can get sacked very easily nowadays. 10 million followers, I'll win Premier Champions League. Oh, Premier Champions League, easy. Mental limbs. But I'm not seeing any more questions go in the comments. Most of them are reply for Tal. This is going to be the last question. This season. Alright, Jack's will be the last question then, because he's just put it down. Most underrated player for Town. This season. Yeah, take care, Duff. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Priorities. There's more stuff important than Town and me. Most underrated player this season. Vallejo, I'd say. Vallejo. What team would you like to come up from League One to play Town? Right, so these are the 3, because these are the away days that I want to do. Portsmouth, Hull, Portsmouth, Doncaster, Hull. No, I lie. Portsmouth, Hull, Sunderland. They're the 3. I don't know why I had to close my eyes and think about that. One last thing before we wrap this up. If you have enjoyed this content, please do like. Please do comment and tell me that you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, last but not least, I'm going to just quickly go on about fan cams. Fan cams are going to happen next season. Basic equipment at first. If it hits off, if the channel, generates even more of a following, then I will, get some better equipment. But until then, I'm not going to get better equipment for the videos just to flop. That's not the way I run the channel. I run it on a demands there. I make the video. Everyone's a winner. I get more support. Everyone gets some good content. That's how I want it to work. Next season, fan cams. Anyone wants to be on, see this content, then tell me. DM me on Instagram, DM me on Twitter. Just any way of informing me, just do it. Or comment in a video like this, and I remember comments. I remember all the comments because I respond to them all. Majority that are appropriate anyway. Number 2, if anyone would like to feature on a fan cam, which basically means, obviously, I don't think there'll be restrictions, and when I'm saying restrictions, I mean restrictions as in what's going on now. Don't think there'll be restrictions for next season, because they say June 21st everything's going to lift. So it would be able to happen, because if not, you can't really film with someone 2 meters away. If anyone would like to be in a fan cam, then message me on Instagram, message me on Twitter, and we'll sort out details to do with it. I don't know where outside the ground I'd do them. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's going to be a very improvised thing. But as long as I can get some content out there and make, sort of a fan channel where people can come, have their opinions heard, you know, within reason, as long as it's a, you know, as long as it's all going to fit together like a puzzle, where I'm making new content and people are loving it, then I can be happy doing that. Everyone can be happy watching it. It'll all work, and the sooner that can happen, the better. The more people that watch it, the better. The more people that get involved with it. I don't. This channel is called Brad Barbz, but I don't want this channel to just be Brad Barbz. I don't want it to just be me, because that's great, but it's not the best. It's like, yeah, I love saying what I'm saying about the club, but I don't know everything, and I'd love to learn more from people that have different views and different perspectives, and that is one of the beauties of football, is hearing from other people, and I'd love that. So if anyone wants to come on a fan cam, let me know in the comments, let me know with a DM or just any way of informing me, and I will sort out details and see if it's suitable for you to come on. Now, I will say this, I'll probably prioritise certain people that I know over people that I don't know to begin with, because obviously it comes down to people that I trust, you know, to act appropriately in front of camera, people that I trust to not be offensive, people that I, you know, just trust full stop. But I know the majority of you will be sensible, and I look forward to meeting some of you, because I know that this has been a tough time for a lot of people, and I'd love to sort of, you know, thank the people that have stood by me throughout this difficult period, and it'd be great to meet some people, and it'd be great to have a good time with town when that's not usually happening like now. But anyways, that's all from me. This has been the first Talk of the Town with Brad Barbz, Huddersfield Town podcast. If you would like a football podcast in general, let me know, inform me in any way, and I will do it. But for now, we're just going to stick with the Huddersfield one. I might do one next week. We'll see if it's a weekly thing or if it's a different thing. No need to apologise, Harry or Sarah, whoever's watching. You can go back and watch the whole thing. That's the best part about it all. You can watch live, or you can watch, you know, backwards. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for the recent support. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. And thank you for all the support. Cheers, guys.